car, you shouldn't keep, I don't give a shit about it. You gotta be real. Today's world, you gotta be real. Made a lot of money with that game, you know, from doing the code, the descrambling, direct TV, all of that stuff. So I could talk about it because I don't do anything with it, but in the end of the day, I mean, I was printing money with that business.
All right, guys. Someone I've talked to for years now on social media. We're now meeting for the first time. Jas, aka Limitless. Good to see you, man.
Amazing. Nice to see you too.
Yeah, man. We've been talking for what, like 7 years?
Yeah, absolutely. Quite a while now.
Dude, it's been cool to see your growth.
I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, you have a great place, great studio. I've seen a lot of guests that you've had since you've started, and it's amazing. I'm actually honored to be here.
Hell yeah. Thanks, man. What you been up to? You have a lot of businesses you're on, man.
I mean, nonstop. You know what? A lot of things, but I managed to tie them all together. You know, the idea is to build an ecosystem. My idea was build a life I don't need a vacation from. And, you know, at the end, I started to, you know, we plant 10 seeds everywhere, and ultimately you have to keep watering them.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? And they all start to grow, and it's like, shit, what do you do? Tie them together.
Are you still working as hard as you used to?
Harder.
Really?
Every day, you got to work harder.
Damn. No stopping for you.
No stopping. No stopping.
Because you could have retired in your 20s.
I could have retired. Actually, I could have retired in my early 20s. I could have retired again, you know, a few times over.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea for me is it's the thrill. It's not about the money. It's a thrill. It's about creating, making a difference, changing, and, you know, of course, inspiring, empowering, helping people, you know, in a manner where they say, hey, look, this guy did it. I can do it too. Yeah. And I always like to do things that people think that you can't do. They think, oh yeah, he's crazy. He's not gonna be able to do this. So, all right, let's try it. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose, right? If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Yeah. You got to go against the herd almost if you want to make it in business.
Always. Always. Create your own wave, create your own path. That's the way I look at it.
What was the big first trend you capitalized on?
You know what? A lot of people know this, you know, I love wrestling. So, you know, I was building sites. I started on the internet when I was 11. Then I was building sites with wrestling, posting news, things like that. I was earning money with ads. Made some good money there. Made some very good money there. You know, back in the day, in the late 90s, early 2000s. That was my first big thing. And then from there, you know, I got into many different things. I mean, when you're an internet guy and you learn from chat rooms and things like that. I was on Merc all the time.
I don't even know what that is.
MIRC, way back in the day. We're talking, yeah, 97.
That was when I was born.
97?
97.
Shit, I got internet in 95.
Wow, it was around back then?
Oh yeah, dial up. It took 60 seconds to connect. Your phone line would get, you know, somebody would call you, it would disconnect. All of that. Yeah. Floppy drives. Floppy drive.
I heard a floppy disk, but not floppy drive.
Floppy disk.
Oh, floppy disk? Okay. Yeah, my dad used to have CDs and floppy disks when he played Eminem or whatever music.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, technology is advancing so fast.
Technology is, I mean, now it's crazy. I mean, I can't even keep up with it now.
Dude, with AI now?
I tell people, I'm like, listen, I'm not social media. I don't know Instagram. I managed to figure it out and do it. But when it comes to all these other, like TikTok and all that, I mean, with Snapchat, I just can't figure.
No, I gave up on Snapchat.
I gave up.
But IG, you crush it. You got like what, 14 mil on IG?
About 12
mil.
Close to 12.
So you're top 2,000 in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked up on Social Blade, my ranking, and I'm at 11.6 and I'm like 2,000, which is crazy because there's millions of people on Instagram, man.
You know, I used to think, you know, it was a funny story, but so I used to have a private Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
Until 2019. And that's when I opened it up, right? And then I started just talking and doing videos in there. It was more of a venting platform, right? The way I look at it, like anything I have to say, I just go out and say it, and it would like resonate with people. And I just tried it and kind of kept going. And of course, I had, you know, relationships with different, you know, athletes, stars, things like that. So they found my story inspiring in a way where they're like, hey, look, you have to be the one going out in the front to promote your brand, promote whatever it is that you want to do, right? Because before, my business model was, I'm going to utilize the celebrities in a way where I'll benefit them. I'll help build their e-commerce. I'll build their brands. I'll help them from doing deals, negotiating contracts, things like that, in lieu of them helping promote like different, you know, dietary supplements or health or wellness or things like
Hey guys, shout out to today's sponsor, Kinsta. Running an online business is already a challenge. Your website hosting shouldn't make it harder, and I've been there, dealing with slow load times, confusing dashboards, and unreliable support. That's why I switched over to Kinsta, and it's been a game changer for my brand. Since moving to Kinsta, my site loads faster, runs smoother, and I don't have to stress about downtime. Their intuitive dashboard makes managing everything simple, and their 24/7 expert support means I always have real people whenever to help when I need it. Kinsta's built for performance with blazing fast speeds, enterprise-level security, and 37 global data centers to ensure your site reaches audiences quickly. They also handle free migrations, so switching is effortless, and if you ever get a traffic spike, Kinsta automatically scales to keep your site online when it matters most. I'm not the only one who trusts Kinsta. TripAdvisor, NASA, Indeed, and over 120,000 businesses rely on Kinsta for their WordPress hosting. So if you want hosting that works, just make the switch to Kinsta today. Get your first month free. They'll even handle the migration for you. Just visit kinsta.com/DSH to get started. That's KINSTA.com/DSH.
Products that I have a passion for, right? Based off a change that I made in my life.
Yeah.
And then they always said, look, an athlete that's their job. They started a certain way. They've been training their whole life to be an athlete. What you're doing is something completely, completely different. Like, you transform your life, you transform your mind and all of that, right? So the idea for me was just to go piece by piece, build something, and just, kind of roll it out and get it started. And once I had a private Instagram, it just started to kind of grow. When I was private at one point, somebody asked me, they're like, hey, how many followers do you have on Instagram? This was like in 2016, 2017. So I was like, how much money do you have in the bank? But today it's your social media is almost pretty much like a currency because your relevancy is tied to your social media. And it's really interesting because you have a lot of big movie stars that they don't have that social.
Yeah.
And they want that. And then you have the social media people that want to be in movies,
Right.
and because they can't get that tier 1 press. So, so I have a very unique thing that I kind of like, it took me years and years to figure it out, but I kind of figured it out and puzzled it together to create a certain ecosystem.
Yeah.
But more importantly, the idea for me was, what I want people to understand is for them to believe in themselves. Because as long as you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. You can achieve anything that you want, right? You can go from zero to hero. You can become whatever it is that you want to become. Same thing with social media, right? You could be a nobody and you start today, you'll be something, right? It's like I said about TikTok. Like, I don't really have anybody on TikTok, but I'm going to start posting now. And I'm just going to post everything because I have so much archive content. We're just going to edit, post,
Right.
edit, post. But when you're doing it yourself, for yourself, you're going to sit and contemplate, oh my God, is this good? Is that good? Should I do it? But you just got to execute.
Yeah.
The idea is to execute, right? And you see where it goes.
Absolutely. I agree with you though. There are like two types of fame. There's the social media and then the corporate fame.
Right.
I try to do both. Like I'll do the NBA red carpet because I know that's where the money is.
Absolutely.
Sponsors are going to see that.
100%. You have to have both. You have to be able to tie it in together. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you just have one or the other, it's hard. There's a lot of people with followers that are broke.
Listen, there's a lot of people with followers that are broke. There's a lot of people with fame that are broke. But the idea is if you have a good amount of followers, but you're also stepping on the other side, but you have to have some uniqueness.
Right.
You can't be like everybody else, right? I mean, you have so many people on social media, they're just copying each other, right? They're going to learn from somebody and they're going to resell that product, that service, that online course, that whatever, right? You can't be like everybody else. You have to have some distinction to you in order to make you part of that 5%, then 2%, 1%, and then that 0.1%. So my goal is to be part of the 0.1%. So to be part of the 0.1%, I know I have to make a lot of sacrifices. I know I have to dedicate myself to this, and I know I have to surround myself with the right people. And that's what takes the most time. It's meeting the right people and not giving up. And even if you're tired, saying, you know what? I'm tired. I'm still going to keep going.
Right. Yeah, that must be hard to navigate in LA, right?
Listen, it's really not. To be honest with you, it's really not, because if you think about it, and I really don't care what anybody says about this, LA is always going to be LA. People will talk about LA. They'll say LA is this, LA is that. I want to leave. I want to go Miami. I want to go Texas. I want to go here. I want to go. LA is always going to be LA.
What's up, guys? Shout out to RX Sugar, one of my favorite snack brands. I'm about to try a flavor I've never had before, vanilla cream. Let's see what we got here. That's solid. I love vanilla. It's my favorite ice cream flavor. Definitely check them out, guys. RX Sugar.
Hollywood is always going to be Hollywood. At an international level, people are always going to look at LA. And if you're able to successfully penetrate Los Angeles and be there without getting distracted, without getting caught up, without getting lost in the sauce, right? You can literally build a brand that will get international recognition. And at that point, you monetize it from overseas. Because the real money, the real growth money, all of that will come from overseas.
Yeah.
It's not going to come from within the United States only, right? United States has the most billionaires, but they're not making all their money in the US. They've expanded. They have businesses. A lot of them are publicly traded. Well, that's one of the reasons I decided to go public. Craziest adventure of my life. Literally cost me over $50 million.
Damn.
My own money. And but ultimately I did it. I understand it. And the reason I did it is because that is how you become a billionaire. If you know what you're doing, because think about how many companies are in the US, right? Tons.
Yeah.
How many are public?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. How many are public that are audited, that are fully reporting? You have a company that is on the stock market audited, that's basically like, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. But to take that and then to be able to uplist it and bring it onto one of the major, like, national exchange boards, NYSE, NASDAQ, you're part of that very small percentage that's looked at from an international level. So, and people, when they see that, look, your stock has a value. It's an asset. It's an asset. You build your company. You build it over a course of the next 2 years, 3 years after you let the stock mature. You get a line of credits. You take that, put it into the real estate, proper development. You're golden. We have a, I mean, with the way I've restructured the whole business, I mean, we have a subsidiary for real estate. We're going to do real estate, but it's a very different type of real estate.
Yeah.
It's something that no one has ever done. A lot of people have tried to do it. Everybody talks about building, healthy living spaces and this and that. And, but doesn't mean you have a healthy living space if you're putting teak wood and a yoga mat. Where's the story? Where's the person that's done it in real life and actually has experience and understand what healthy living is about? Where's that aspect? And healthy living is not about just being fit and having 6-pack or 8-pack and eating clean. That's not just healthy living. Healthy living is mindset, discipline. It comes in the mind first. And that's the biggest problem in the society, right? Mindset. So I've done it. I changed my whole life around. Anybody could do it if I did it. But it took time. It didn't happen overnight. It took a decade. I used to have a certain type of life. I used to drink all the time. I used to do drugs. I used to do all this stuff. I switched my life around because I knew I wanted to.
Yeah. You lost 250 pounds.
I lost over 250 pounds. Yeah.
Crazy. So that took 10 years. So about 25 pounds a year.
I mean, no. So the first 3 months, I lost 88 pounds.
Damn.
Because it's mostly water weight in the beginning. Right? So I lost 88 pounds the first 3 months. I went on a crash diet. I screwed my business up at the time, which I was printing money. This was like, I started in I think 2008 or 2009 when I first started to do it. And I was, at that time I was printing money. It was something I haven't even put out there, what I used to do before and things like that. But I have a permanent injunction from Dish Network, NatRestar. I am, I don't care. People tell me, oh, your PR, you shouldn't have, keep image. I don't give a shit about it. You got to be real. Today's world, you got to be real. Made a lot of money with that gang, from doing the code, the descrambling, direct TV, all of that stuff. So I could talk about it because I don't do anything with it. But in the end of the day, I mean, I was printing money with that business. And when I was doing that, when I wanted to lose weight, it kind of like impacted.
That was a full-time job probably to lose weight.
Yeah, it was a full-time job. It was a full-time job because you're eating sub 1,000 calories a day.
Sub 1,000?
I went sub 1,000 calories a day
gosh.
for 2 months out of the 3 months.
Dude.
Distilled water. I was on a competition diet. So I know I wasn't eating tomatoes.
Why?
Sugar.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What does distilled water do?
Distilled water is like you take it basically it's just completely flushing your system. It's not even like staying, holding, nothing.
Okay.
It's basically you take the water, you boil it, right? You boil the water and it's distilled. There's like zero level of sodium, zero anything. It's just like just water.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Damn, so you were committed. This was before the Ozempic days.
Oh, yeah.
Now everyone just takes a pill.
Yeah, they take a pill, they take a shot, they take an injection, they think it's a magic pill. It doesn't work that way.
That doesn't change the mindset.
It doesn't change your mindset, and you burn muscle too with it. It doesn't mean you're not working hard. You got to work. You look like a clown. The people that take Ozempic after, you could tell in 2 minutes who's taking Ozempic.
Ethan Klein from H3H3.
Sorry?
Ethan Klein, you know him?
No, I don't know him.
Just a podcaster. But yeah, you could tell, it's just too much weight loss too quick.
You could tell, first of all, their skin, it's not tight. You still, okay, if you actually have something, if you have pre-diabetic, if you have anything, if you take Ozempic, you take it in a small dose, but then you're training at the same time and you're eating the right foods, the right nutrients, all of that stuff, it's a different ballgame.
Right.
But if you're just taking Ozempic, it's, the shortcut is ultimately you're not going to look good. And then when you stop, you're going to gain the weight right back.
100%. We got to go back to the story about going public. So it costs $50 million to do that?
Well, it was a journey. The journey cost me that much.
Okay.
So the journey was part of the business model. So I'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
So I had a vision to go public. Somebody planted it in my head in 2012. I created a concept of stores in Canada. I was doing franchising of stores. I started supplement stores, but they were modern day health boutiques because it's something where the person doesn't feel intimidated walking into, right? I had a nice sports bar. You could watch games, etc. Lounge area, apparel, very, very clean. Like each store cost me about $350,000 to build out, right? And I sold franchises before I even sold my first corporate store, before I opened my first corporate store.
Wow, that's impressive.
I spent $100,000 just doing the franchise agreement. I know everything about franchise law, A to Z. So long story short, I created a US concept in Canada, okay? Canada, the population of the entire country is lesser than the state of California.
Wow.
So I was trying to take that business of mine and expand it into the US. While doing that, the seed got planted in my head that I should eventually go public, stock market, things like that. So over a course of time, I was like, stock market, stock market, stock market. It just kind of like drilled in my head, right? So an opportunity came. The opportunity came to me in 2021. And in 2022, I went for the deal. I did a reverse merger, not knowing anything about stocks. I knew nothing. I just hired the right corporate team, the right CFO, the right COO, the right legal team, right everything. But the one thing I have in my life is I have structure. My books, my taxes, all of my stuff were all in order. So, and I had a lot of revenue because I was the king of keto. So I don't know if you heard the keto capsules.
I didn't.
I sold the most keto capsules than anybody that could ever in history. We sold about over 5 million bottles in less than 12 months. We were doing over 40,000 bottles a day, 45,000 bottles a day.
Damn.
It's nuts. Absolutely.
They just put your body in ketosis?
Ketosis. Keto BHB capsules. Yeah, keto BHB capsules with a few non-stimulating ingredients in there that would help you it was a fat metabolizer and a fat burner. Okay, so long story short, I was relying on affiliates. And we're working with a lot of different affiliate marketers. And the affiliate marketers, what I wanted to do was create multiple brands at the same time. So I had the keto brand, I had a women's nutrition line brand, I had a CBD brand. Even CBD, when it was a hot commodity, we were doing about 10,000 gummies a day, 10,000 bottles of gummies a day, all through affiliates, right? Long story short, the revenue was there, but it was coming in at a loss. But because when you have a lot of cash flow coming in, you don't really recognize the loss, right? And then eventually what happened is their CPAs got higher. So the CPAs at one point that we were paying close to $95, $100 ended up going up to $140. The average order value in the ticket got lower. And the biggest thing I wasn't doing that other people in that business do is they do rebuilds. So they take the customer's order and then they rebuild a person to get them a second package, a third package.
Oh, like a subscription model?
Correct, a subscription model, negative option, which we weren't doing. So long story short, once I did that, I had a lot of revenue. So we took the company and did a reverse merger. I did a deal. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the IR side. I didn't understand that the public company, the stock, and the private business are three totally different things. And you have to basically tie them all together, right? So to maximize, the shareholder has to understand that you have a publicly traded company. And now when you're on the OTC, it's not like being on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. So you can't buy it on every broker dealer. There's a lot of restrictions, right? There's tons of things that you're not able to do as compared to if you're on the New York Stock Exchange or on the NASDAQ. Right. So what I did, I had to learn it the hard way. We had over $35 million of losses. In 2022 and the public markets, they started to focus on EBITDA. Everybody, bankers, anybody wanting to come in was focusing on EBITDA, right? No matter how good your product is, at the end of the day, we're selling supplements. There was no innovation. There's no biotech. There's no, cancer cure or anything of that sort. So I'm like, okay, I have to change the business model around. We had $35 million negative. So it's either you deposit $35 million in, make it positive and go $15 million more, or you find a way to bring the debt down and stuff. So ultimately, I had a lot of debt in the company, money owed to me. I had to convert the debt out. I had to learn what the hell was going on, debt conversion, preferred stock, classes A, B, C, how it all works. It's a whole different ballgame. But ultimately, we cleaned all of that up, changed the whole business, brought the whole marketing team, everybody in-house, a lot of, good, solid team that I have today. That without them, none of this would be possible, right? And each one knows how to maneuver and handle what they need to handle without me having to oversee them or supervise or things like that.
Yeah.
And once I learned it the hard way, between the costs of going public, the auditors, the fees, all of this stuff that ended up happening, that going into it, combined with the losses of the company and investments that went into different things, it was about $55 million. I mean, everything I'm saying is verifiable. SEC, type in LIMX, boom, you could see everything. I mean, anybody who knows how to read financial statements, they could see it. So I constantly convert. Until this day, I'm funding this thing.
Wow. So you're all in.
I'm 1,000,000% all in. I'm 1,000,000% all in. But the difference today is I'm betting on myself. And I've restructured the whole business to take all of these different components, that different industries that I've been, whether it's in sports, whether it's in events, whether it's in movies, entertainment, digital assets, which is a totally different subsidiary that we created now because we're going to tie a lot of things together. All of these different things, tie them together and put them into one ecosystem, with the parent company being at the top and each one being its own subsidiary.
Do you believe in recession-proof businesses?
Absolutely. That's part of my business model. If you go and look at our company profile, it says recession-proof. Because where I'm in the business, I'll tell you what my business model is.
Okay.
Look good, feel great. So check this out. Look good comes through products. Different type of products or treatments or things like that can help a person look good combined with exercise and what they eat, right? If you eat McDonald's all day, doesn't matter what product you take, you're going to look like garbage.
Right.
You're going to look horrible. Okay. Now, feel great is an emotion. Everybody has one thing in common. They all want feeling of satisfaction. Everybody on the planet wants to look good and feel great. So what is satisfaction? It's an emotion. You're selling an emotion. You're giving people, why do people watch movies? For entertainment,
right?
For a feeling. You feel good, feel sad, feel something, but it's a relief. It's getting away from whatever they're doing for that little bit of entertainment that they end up getting. You make an ROI on a crypto investment, on a real estate investment. Doesn't matter how much you put. If you put $100 in a slot machine and 120 comes out, you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Right? So we have businesses that are for that, So it's basically look good, feel great. And if you're in this space, you're always going to be able to go up. You're always going to be, because these are businesses that are at a global level. They're in you could take your brand, you could take your product, you could take your movie, you could take your event, you could do all of this stuff at an international level, country over country over country over country.
Yeah.
It's never ending.
That's what I realized about billionaires. They do global business.
You have to do global, and you have to get into countries that are, how would I say it? Without
emerging countries.
Emerging countries, but countries where there's not too much structure. So if you have the right contacts, you can get in to those countries.
Makes sense.
And you can be the top dog. So we have a certain countries right now that we are entering into that I have not announced or nobody even knows of, that are countries where there's a lot of wealth and they're at an infancy stage. They're kind of like what the US was back in like 2000s.
Yeah.
For a lot of the health stuff and for a lot of this entertainment and whatnot.
That's smart. Yeah, there's some spots blowing up right now, like Dubai and Saudi. They got some stupid money over there.
Right, but the money is not okay. So let's talk about Dubai for a minute. Okay, so Dubai, let's just put it straight out there. Dubai is the king. All the scammers are sitting in Dubai.
Really?
All the scammers. Okay, here's what you got in Dubai. You have the real people that are in Abu Dhabi, and very small percentage that are in Dubai, but they're like, it's like LA. Dubai is very similar to LA and Vegas. This is what I call it. It's like Vegas, but in LA, but like an LA type of a community, right? So Dubai loves it when you make money from anywhere you are and bring it into Dubai. They love it. They absolutely love it. But Dubai, don't forget, it's you're talking about a kingdom in the end. So you have people that run it.
Yeah.
The people that, everything that everyone sees on the internet and on social and stuff about Dubai, that's not the real Dubai. That's a small little part. If you go to Dubai, do you know how like people live over there? Like it totally, just go a little bit out. You go a little bit out, like drive 40 minutes out of where the Burj is and all that. And then you'll see like the average salary over there. You can hire somebody for 500 USD per month.
Damn. In Dubai?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, all the people from India, Pakistan here, they'll go to Dubai.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So a lot of people that are in Dubai, it's all, the dog and pony show that goes on. You don't know what's what. You don't know who's who. Everyone's acting like, they're this, they're that. And yeah, there are people in Dubai that are legit, that are real. But it's a community. They all know each other. All the new ones going over there, it's all whatever. But Dubai is the place to enter from Dubai into a lot of other areas. So you set up manufacturing in Dubai. That's what we're doing right now. You set up a manufacturing facility in Dubai, and then you go outwards. You can go out from Dubai to Asia. You can go out from Dubai towards Africa even.
That makes sense.
Right? You could go straight all towards UK. So it's Dubai and Saudi are going to be, it's the center, right? If you really think about it, London is one of the best time zones in the world. If you're working with people that are in all different countries, London's one of the best time zones. But if you look at Dubai and Saudi with the way they're emerging and the way they're coming and like putting money into it, they're going to be the center. Everybody wants to go there because it's happening over there. People aren't sad. You could see money. Doesn't matter what the money is or where the money's from, but there's money that's there. So everyone is just going to Dubai. But in the end, like Dubai, ultimately, you're always, you have to have the right, yes, but can you create, if you have a brand and if you are with the right network and the right people, you can create monsters over there.
You need the right contacts out there for sure.
Listen, we have a partnership in Dubai with the royal family, with the ruler of Dubai, with their family. We have a partnership that has been inked and signed as of a couple of years.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the partnership for?
It's for everything that we want to do with the business, expansion over into the MENA, into the entire MENA region.
Nice.
Everything with Limitless.
You doing anything in India?
I'm going to be doing something in India. Yep. We went to India last year. I was born in India.
Yeah.
So, but India is a process. I'm working on some things right now, but yes, absolutely. I go piece by piece. First, the way I like to operate is build the contacts, build the relationships, build the footprint so that when we execute, bam, we just drop a pin and we could just turn the lights on.
Plug and play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're methodical with it.
I take my time.
Yeah, a lot of people rush things, but you can't these days.
No.
Because you only got a few chances to make it.
Actually, with this stuff, when you're dealing with public markets, when you're dealing with regulations, when you're dealing with regulators, the SEC and stuff, this is not you can't mess around with this.
Yeah.
Like there's no messing around. You don't have two chances at this. You have one chance and you cannot fumble it. Everything is watched. Everything is regulated. Everything is looked at. Like you cannot, I always try to tell people, like, crypto and stocks is not the same thing. It's very similar model, very similar concept. What's going on with crypto now is not going to go on like this forever. Stocks is always going to be what it is.
Yeah.
Right. And it's fully regulated, and it's yeah. So you don't really have like, it's not like a token, and you can launch a token in an hour, not less, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You can go create and launch. Can't launch a stock
No.
in 15 minutes.
No. It takes millions of dollars and years probably.
More than that, it takes structure.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of damn structure.
Yeah, because even when you launch, you saw what happened to FaZe Clan. You could get delisted
You could get delisted.
if you don't perform.
Well, FaZe Clan, they had a whole different can of worms.
Yeah.
I mean, they got, those guys, they got screwed with the whole.
That's a learning lesson, man.
Yeah.
SPACs don't seem to be a move anymore.
No.
Every SPAC I've ever heard of has crashed.
Yeah, because the SPAC deal is just the guys that are going to put the money, they're just exiting out right away.
Yeah, that's how Chamath made money.
Your stock is going to go down.
Yeah, love him or hate him, that's how he made his money.
Mm-hmm.
Chamath. Is he, who are your mentors, I guess? Anyone you got one-on-one relationships with?
I have a few people. I don't mention their names because they're extremely influential and powerful people. But yes, I have a few people. They're not people that are on social media or things like that. They're very, very, high up in certain ways. But yes, I have a certain people that I listen to that are behind the scenes with me, that assist, that, give me the right guidance, that keep me on this right track, and to make sure that, hey, look, like, there's a big picture, there's the finish line, okay, look, we can open this door, we'll open this door as we go along, let's go piece by piece, right? So that I don't end up getting just carried away like I used to at one point, just get too excited, just want to create the rocket ship overnight.
Yeah, I think when you're young, you just want to be.
I know. Listen, everybody when they're young, they want to go from zero to hero overnight. Everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, and you think your luck is always going to be there. You think if you made so much one time that you're going to, boom, you're going to be able to do it right away. And boom, you could just, everything you're going to touch is going to just go. It doesn't work that way. There's some point that like some things don't work, and you can take so much time and get somewhere, but like one wrong move, wrong person, wrong association, wrong energy around you, and you're just going to fall down.
Screws you. Yeah, I've been humbled, but looking back, I'm grateful it happened.
Absolutely.
Because your ego can get pretty intense in this space.
I always tell people, don't have an ego, don't have pride. I used to have the biggest ego.
Really?
Absolutely.
What caused it to, as a laugh?
I got humbled. Let's put it that way. I learned a lot of things the hard way.
Yeah. There's always a bigger fish.
There's always a bigger fish. There's always somebody that's going to have more money than you. There's always somebody that, listen, I learned this when I was in LA. I said, listen, somebody told me when I first moved to LA, they said, look, don't try to do anything with money in LA. You're going to come in a Ferrari, someone else is going to come. You're going to come in a Lamborghini, someone's going to come in a Bugatti. You're going to come in this, someone's going to come in that. It's not how it works. If you try to do things based off the money, there's always somebody who's going to have more money, who's going to outdo you. So you have to create that thing about yourself. You have to, it can't be about, hey, I need to show this. There has to be more to it.
Smart. That personal brand element.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to find how you can add value.
100%.
Yeah, don't copy people.
Well, that's what I say, the brand value, right? What is a brand?
Yeah.
If you cannot emotionally connect with your audience, you do not have a brand.
People could sense that these days too.
Absolutely.
When you're not being authentic.
Absolutely. You have to be able to emotionally connect.
Yeah.
Today, the fake shit don't work.
No.
It don't work. I've had so many people tell me this is social media promotions, this and that. Oh, let's do video. Oh, take the Bugatti, take the jet, take this, take that. Listen, those days I wanted to do all that, great, gone, over. You don't need to do that. Plus, every second person out there is doing stuff with a car, with this, with that, stuff, something they can't afford or they don't have, right?
Yep.
They're just trying to floss, and they're all trying to sell courses.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's all they're all trying to do. Sell courses. They don't have it. They're trying to teach somebody else how to get it by taking their money, and that person is believing that this person has the money.
Yep.
I think there are 99% of the people that are doing courses are complete ass clowns.
Agreed. 100% agree.
They
Nope.
have nothing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that model.
Absolutely not.
But that's why streamers are the new celebrities. They're so authentic. They're sitting on their computer screen getting millions of views because they're just naturally reacting to videos and content.
Yep.
And they're not selling anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the new
They're
celebrity.
not selling anything because the minute you're automatically trying to sell something, people know. People already understand.
Yeah.
It's not about, see, when you have something that's authentic, you don't have to sell it. It automatically gets sold. You don't need to be going out and trying to say, hey, that other people will do it for you.
Elon Musk spends $0 on marketing. Isn't that crazy?
But Elon Musk also had, a lot of success from the past, from this, from that, from a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But he built himself also, strategically and in a very brilliant and smart way.
No, it's brilliant though. The product's so good, it markets itself. That changed my whole perspective on marketing. So I used to think of just spending money to make money.
But the whole thing is to tell people when Tesla first came out, they all thought a car, electric car. It's not about the car, it's the technology. It's not about the car. It's energy. It's a technology.
Yeah.
Because eventually that technology is going to be in homes, it's going to be here, it's going to be there. It's exactly what happens.
He's already doing it. Humanoids, you got the solar panels.
It's not the car, it's the technology.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude's a G, man. Elon Musk, shout out to him. He saved social media, saved free speech, in my opinion.
Yeah.
100%. Me and you were getting shadow banned probably for years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you couldn't talk freely, you couldn't do anything, you couldn't, and you have to be able to, because the minute you start saying the truth of what's really going on or what's on your mind, you get cut.
Yep.
Every single time. That's what it is.
Yeah. What's next for you, man? Where can people keep up with you?
Just online, just working, just doing a lot of cool things. I'm branching. I'm trying a new challenge also now. I'm going to be filming a movie very soon.
Nice.
Good so with a very well-known person, getting into a lot of different things, just working on Limitless. Goal is to make Limitless into a globally recognized household name, build an empire, like I said, build a life I don't need a vacation from. I don't want to keep working 18, 19, 20 hours a day sometimes that I do like a madman. I slow it down at some point. But I love it. I love the challenge. I love the thrill. And the thing I love the most is inspiring people. And every day waking up and somebody saying, oh my God, keep going. Or one of my friends that I know for 15 years, when I met him in Montreal after so long, a couple of weeks ago, he's like, guys, you stop, I'm going to personally come and whoop your ass. You keep going, do not stop, keep going. So that kind of stuff. And it gives me that thrill.
I love it, man. We'll link your stuff below. And if the movie's out, we'll link that as well.
Amazing.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Amazing.
All right, guys, check them out. See you next time.